Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Eric. Today I have the good news that I can finally bring you the video showing you the pros and cons of both an Airdeck floor or inflatable floor for your inflatable boat or a hard floor for the inflatable floor. Both have pros and cons and I'm gonna go over them. Let's get to it. First, I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room, weight. This is a Saturn SD330. It's an 11 footer. This one I personally own. It's usually about 100 pounds. And as you guys will see on the screen, I went camping with it on the Indian River and I was able to just pick it up. It's not too difficult to do so. It is more manageable. Now, when it comes into this model, this is a Saturn KM330D hard floor model. Same size as a Saturn SD330. As you can see, the shape is very similar. Problem is, when you add the floor, and you're gonna add around 40 pounds to it, so picking it up is gonna be more difficult. However, the beauty of the pros and the cons about these boats, mostly the cons, is that they're always a workaround when it comes to those problems. This adds more weight, but it creates a more stable scenario on the water. And let me explain. Usually, the inflatable floor tends to bend ever so slightly when it's going on plane. So the water tends to create this wave under it and it holds the boat from catching plane quicker and it creates a lot of oversplash. But again, like I mentioned, there are workarounds around that. Where the hardwood floor, because it has a stable, sturdy floor, it catches plane quicker. There is no weird shape of water going under the boat itself because it's a more stable, it's flat, it doesn't bend. It'll be far less splashing from the transom. Now, the workarounds for that, for instance, when it comes into the weight and handling the boat, transom wheels. You get yourself a pair of transom wheels and you can actually log the boat around, which are very handy. Let me go and get the ones that I have for this, and I'll show you what I mean. So in the case of managing weight, I just installed the transom wheels on my boat. Even though this is not the KM330, it's just my SD, you are allowed, or you have the ability to roll the boat around. Even though the floor will add weight to it, having transom wheels will fix that problem and allow you to actually move it around, lug it around with ease. That's the beauty of transom wheels. I'm gonna leave this right here for a moment. All right, so now let's talk about transom oversplash for those of you who prefer a lighter inflatable floor. So you're like me, you prefer the lighter version of an inflatable boat, which I do. I prefer the Airdeck floors better than the hardwood floors, primarily because of the convenience of moving around. I can roll this thing out. I will show you guys some assembly time frames. I did a couple of videos showing you how long it takes to assemble this compared to that. It's a few minutes of difference, and I will talk about that in a few moments. But anyway, back to the transom. You have an inflatable floor and you want to handle that oversplash that's going to come over the transom a bit, and you don't want to accumulate a whole lot of water. So I just basically put a towel back here whenever I'm in the water. All the oversplash, most of it will be collected by the towel. So once I reach, let's say I'm camping on an island and I'm reaching a place, I take the towel, squeeze most of the water in it. Now, there will always be some water that will collect at the bottom, but it's kept at the minimum. This is how you work that around. Very simple solution. It's pretty sweet. Now, when it comes to the hardwood floors compared to the Airdecks, is the peace of mind you get by having something solid. Especially for those of you who like to do deep sea fishing, you bring in large hooks, very sharp objects. You have the peace of mind that, hey, even though this thing is a little heavier to lug around, you have a hard floor to bring a lot of sharp objects. However, if you're like me and you prefer the Airdeck floor, there are some workarounds about that, and I'm gonna show you. Now, a good workaround, let's say you're a deep sea fisher, you bring a lot of gear that's sharp and you don't want no punctures. Having something as simple as a gym mat like this. The beauty of these is that you can conjoin them and you can cut them to fit a specific spot. I myself never felt the need to do this because I'm not that big of a fisherman per se, so you will not be seeing me going deep sea fishing. Mind you, I do bring a lot of gear with me when I'm going camping on the islands. Some of the stuff is sharp. I usually just lay a towel on top so it'll hold it in place, and it's usually well packaged or sheathed. When I bring knives and axes, I keep it in the sheath. I have not had an issue. But for those of you who are more hardcore, as you can see, there is a very easy workaround, not complicated, not fancy, gets the job done. Now, when it comes to rideability in the water, having this hard floor just makes the boat perform sharper, shoots into plane a lot quicker than this does because it doesn't have to work with that shape of water going under it. Because it's so firm and it doesn't bend, it just goes right to the water, catches plane even quicker. Riding on the water is sharper, turning around it is sharper. This one tends to drift a little bit because it's not as sharp and it tends to bend ever so slightly. However, like I mentioned before, there are pros and cons to both sides. Having a better ride means it's heavier. Having a lighter boat like this one with the Airdeck floor makes the ride a lot more comfortable. That's another thing, but there's always workarounds. Getting yourself a simple cushion, and let me show you. I'm sure you guys are noticing that this is not a scripted video. I'm winging it as I go, primarily because I like my videos for the most part to be naturally flowing, stuff like that. You know, I don't want this to sound like a darn commercial. I hate that thing. Anyway, something as simple as this, small little cushion. It's like 1/2 inch of cushion. It makes a world of difference, which means now whether you're using an Airdeck floor or a hard floor, although this tends to be a little harder on the water and on your back, that 1/2 inch of cushion alone means either spending 30 minutes on the water, coming back sore, or you're able to actually ride for 4 or 5 hours and you won't be as sore. Something as simple as that. Boat2Go has them. You can find these in Amazon and all kinds of places. They're just simple inflatable boat seat cushions. Now, some of you may choose to create your own makeshift seating position. Now, this being a hard floor means you'll be able to drill some holes and put a seat on top of it. It gives you that option. You cannot do that with this. You have to do some kind of tubing setup. I think Boat2Go has one, but I think they've been out of stock for a while. So you have to make something makeshift to put a regular seat in it. But as you guys can see, there are always workarounds when it comes to the cons. That's the beauty of inflatables. I just love them. Now, if there is a con that I have to choose out of a hardwood floor, is setup. Now, in the next video that I'm going to show you, setting this up took me about 10 minutes. Setting that one up took about 14. You may ask yourself, so what's the difference? It's the involvement. I can get my electrical pump, set it up, let it inflate, and while it's inflating, doing its thing, I go and unpack the car and take everything out. And then the pump stops and I put it on the outer chamber, so on and so forth. This one is a lot more involved, as you guys will see. Basically, I'm spending 10 minutes inflating this one. Not that difficult. I can do other stuff, but this one, those 14 minutes, you have to be fully involved with it. Holding the bladder up, putting it to the right pressure, and setting up. Now, I will confess that I have assembled and disassembled that boat about 5 times already, and I see myself becoming far more efficient while setting it up. So at the very least, even though it is more difficult to set it up, the workaround is that you get better at it. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna start things off with the Saturn KM330 with the hardwood floor. I currently have my electric pump, so I'm gonna be showing you guys how long it takes. I'm also going to time it, so you guys can see, you know, how long it takes, or what it takes to set up and things of that nature. I first gotta inflate the boat about 10 to 20% so it has some shape and form. Then I can lay down the floor and give it full inflation, and it should be ready. So this will give you guys an idea how long it takes. I'm gonna start the timer now. And time. All right, let me show you. I am reading 14 minutes and 11 seconds here. Let me show you. Let me see if the camera can capture it. So I got 14 minutes and 11 seconds. So you're looking at 14 minutes and 11 seconds. Let's just say safely 14 minutes to set up a hardwood floor inflatable boat like this one. Of course, you put the seats and the paddles and the oars in place. That doesn't take time at all. So roughly you're looking at about 14 minutes. So now I'm going to show you guys what it's like to put together my favorite one, the Airdeck floor models. Let me show you. Okay everyone, so right now I'm going to show you guys what it takes to set up an Airdeck floor inflatable boat like my own personal Saturn SD330. If you guys are seeing me with the different attires, I'm making these scenes throughout the week during the holidays. It's a perfect way to split time between family and work and all that. So that's why I'm wearing a different clothing. Anyway, I will be inflating this boat up to spec. The 3 main bladders will have 3.5 psi. The floor requires about 10. However, I personally use about 8 psi. And of course, the keel is about 5.5. And I'm going to time it. And you guys are going to see the time difference. So I'm timing it now. And time. Here we go. So, on my own personal Airdeck model, Saturn SD330, we got a total of 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Let me show you guys. So you got 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Well, I hope that I will conclude the video with this. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and received some information, some visual information, and some of my experience handling these types of boats. I want to give a special thanks to the guys at Boats to Go, because they're the ones that lent me that boat for me to try out and take it to places, and they let me keep it a little longer for me to make this video, because a lot of you have been asking this information for years. I have yet to have the opportunity to do it. Now I do, so I'm very grateful for the folks at Boats to Go, because, well, I love my audience very, very much, and I like you guys to understand what to do before you jump into this hobby. That way you have an idea, you have an educated, I want you guys to make educated purchases. Primarily my goal here is to teach you things about inflatable boats, at least in my experience, although it's limited. So it's a one and done deal. You buy the first boat and you're likely that will be the only one you keep. Now, mind you, I have gone through at least 7 or 8 models personally. I have settled down for the Saturn SD330 11-footer Airdeck floor. I prefer the Airdeck floor much more because of what I do. I lug it around a lot. I inflate and deflate. Some folks prefer to use a trailer. That will be perfect to trailer around, by the way, because you set it up once, you don't have to take it apart mostly, unless you want to clean it and rinse it. That's not too hard, per se. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you found this video informative and it'll help you make an educated purchase. Please use the links that I provide above and below. They help me a lot, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.